my name is Sasha Wong, and today I'm going to be talking about prezygotic barriers as modeled by my snail actors Mo and Joe. Our first barrier is habitat isolation, which means that two species, although not actually separated by physical barriers, live in different habitats in the same area and are rarely or never going to come in contact with one another and are not going to breed because of this. Here we see Mo and Joe living very close to one another in the same area, but Mo lives in water and Joe lives on land, and because of the difference in habitat, they're not going to come in contact with one another and are not going to breed. Our next barrier is temporal isolation, which means that species that breed at different times of day, different seasons, or different years cannot mix their gametes. So Mo likes to breed during winter at night, whereas Joe likes to breed during summer and during the day. And because of their difference in breeding seasons, their gametes aren't going to mix and they're not going to be able to breed. Next, we have behavioral isolation, which means that courtship rituals or behaviors specific and unique to one species are going to form effective barriers. So Mo, his behavior unique to his species is to smile. He likes to smile. But Joe, she's a frowny face. And because of this, they're not going to breed with one another because their behaviors don't align. Our fourth barrier is mechanical isolation, which means that morphological differences are going to keep the two species from breeding. So as you can see, Mo's snail goes from left to right, whereas Joe's snail goes from right to left. And because of this, they're not going to be able to breed physically, even if they try to. Even if they surpassed habitat, temporal, and behavioral isolation, they are not going to be able to physically breed with one another due to morphological differences. Our last barrier is gametic isolation, which means that the sperm of one species cannot fertilize the egg of another species. So, although Mo loves Joe very much, his sperm are not going to be able to fertilize her egg, and obviously because of this, they are not going to be able to breed with one another. So in summary, habitat isolation means that differences in habitats keep species from breeding. Temporal isolation means that differences in breeding seasons keep species from breeding. Behavioral isolation means that differences in courtship rituals and behaviors keep species from breeding. Mechanical isolation means that morphological differences keep species from breeding. And gametic isolation means that the sperm of one species cannot fertilize the egg of another.